Somebody in one of my comment sections said, "And who the hell are you?" And I did a video reply to them breaking down who I am, for the most part. If you want to see that video, you can click this comment, click see video, and you can go see my response to that person. This person came into that video to give their own breakdown of who I am. And they say, bottom line, Democrat, Trump hater, uneducated. Correct on all three. I am a Democrat. I am a center-left liberal Democrat. I am a Trump hater. No question about that. That is well documented. And I am uneducated. I failed the 7th grade entirely and had to redo every bit of it. I barely graduated 8th grade. I finished my freshman year of high school with 1.5 credits, and I dropped out 6 weeks into my sophomore year of high school, not having attended a single day of sophomore year. I am an uneducated man. Here's what I'm not. I'm not in a political cult. I'm not in a political cult that requires me to abandon my own morals and judgment if what the leader of that cult says goes against what I believe. I don't have to blindly follow and agree with everybody who I support on a political level, everybody who I donate to or vote for on a given level. I don't have to do that because I'm not in a political cult. I'm also not somebody who's afraid of becoming a minority in his own country, which is what we see out of the Republican Party right now. We see a bunch of men that look just like me that are scared to death that they are about to become a minority in their own country, which, by the way, is going to happen. No matter what they do to the federal government, no matter how damaging their policies are, that is an inevitable course of action. People that look like me will eventually be a minority in this country. But I'm not afraid of that. I think that the reason why the other guys that look like me are afraid of that is because they're afraid of being treated how they've treated minorities. And in my past, I have treated minorities the same way. And I'm here to tell you that if and when that happens, if I'm still alive, and I don't think I'm going to still be alive, but if I'm still alive when that happens and I become the minority in this country, I would hope that the people who I mistreated were able to overlook it. But if they're not, then I got some payback coming. I have a lot of red in my ledger, and I understand that it doesn't just get to be a clean coast to the finish line for me. I owe for some of the shit that I've said and done. And I'm not afraid of paying my dues. I'm also not somebody that's willing to look somebody in my family or my inner circle in the eye and tell them that I love them, that I care for them, that they are part of who I am, and then walk into a voting booth and vote against all of their best interests. I didn't walk into a voting booth and vote against my wife's best interest. I didn't walk into a voting booth and vote against my daughter's best interest. I didn't walk into a voting booth and vote against my granddaughter's best interest. Because I didn't walk into a voting booth and only think about me. I didn't walk into a voting booth and only think about what's best for me economically, what's best for me socially. I thought about what was good for me and what was good for the people in my life. And that is not something that typically happens on the right side of the aisle, at least not in the last 30, 40, 50 years. So while I am, bottom line, a Democrat, a Trump hater, and uneducated, at least I still have my moral compass. At least I voted for the best interest of not only myself, but the people around me. And at least I'm not in a political cult.